A beautiful Friday morning right here on Every TV. The show, New Day, as always, a feel-good Friday where we get to entertain you with lots of music, even as we have candid discussions on issues that, of course, pertain to what would be of interest to us. And today, we just take a look at the trends of matters entertainment in 2019, because it is exactly that will shape what the year will be in regards to ensuring we have the best of the entertainment industry. And when I'm talking about the entertainment industry, you technically know where this, of course, lies. We're talking about music, we're talking about, of course, the media industry, we're talking about the modeling industry, and a couple of other industries that come together, the industry of arts. So we'll be taking a look at what played out in 2019. And now that we are in 2020, Happy New Year, by the way, then we get to know that, of course, this is what we did right, this is what we did not do right. And moving forward, of course, this is what we're supposed to do to ensure that there is all that is needed in the entertainment industry. And we have the entertainment gurus that will be joining me this morning. So indeed, it's a show that you do not want to miss out on. I'll get to tell you who they are as we proceed with the show. And it's important you interact with us. Hashtag New Day KE. SMS short code 40920, or you can as well directly hit my Twitter page, that is as Linda_Alela, and my name is Linda Alela. Before that, it's always important that we also take a look at what is happening in the world of news, so much so right here in the country in regards to politics, in regards to every other thing that you think about, education, health, and all that. It's yet a new year, and parents are out here also trying their level best to ensure that they prepare their students pretty well to face the year, to take them or send them to school. And equally, most of the people are resuming office or duty on Monday the 6th. So I hope you're well braced for the year, even as we are receiving this sad news, of course, from the boss of Central Bank of Kenya, saying that the likelihood is going to be a tough economic time in 2020, but equally we keep hope high. And in what most Kenyans have argued that, well, it wasn't an easy year, 2019, we can only hope that in as much as these predictions are coming out, I mean, things will not be as tough as predicted. So let's cross over to what is happening in the world of news. I have the Daily Nation, the Standard newspaper, and equally the Star newspaper, but I'll be taking you through what is on the Daily Nation, which is what I've opened here. And of course, on the Daily Nation, the biggest story on matters politics, like I told you earlier on, it's pretty hard to look at the dailies and fail to talk about the question of politics. And sadly enough, what took center stage in 2019, 2018, the better part was all about matters corruption. But we only hope that this time around is going to be a different affair. And the biggest story, the front page of the Daily Nation, politicians are eyeing support of a president's vote at Richmond, Kenya region 2022 poll. Top guns line up to woo President Uhuru. Yes, like we have always said, for the better part of 2019, he will largely inform what will play out in regards to politics. And of course, that is in 2022, and who's going to get on board. And equally, Right Honorable Raila Odinga is one of the key figures that will equally largely, sort of inform what will play out. There will be the people who are generating the matrix of 2022 politics, in as much as there's that clear indication that also they have some level of interest. And President Kenyatta is the most sought after politician or political bride, with leaders crumbling to curry favor and win his backing after he serves his full term. Page 4. It's been a controversial moment in regards to matters politics on whether President Uhuru Kenyatta should come back. Of course, that then would mean us going for a referendum so that we can change the system of governance. It is detailed on a page 4 of the Daily Nation. Of course, we can see Deputy President William Ruto, Right Honorable Raila Odinga, Mr. Musyoka, that is Kalonzo Musyoka, and Mr. Musalia Mudavadi, who's the ANC leader, and all of them sort of trying to woo that respect of President Uhuru Kenyatta, because they know very well that he largely informs the kind of support that one would get from the central region, which holds the largest number of course, population in regards to the kinds of ethnic groups that we have. And we'll be taking a look at that as we proceed. A Moi farm linked to new KPA tender scam, a scam that has been, of course, being investigated for the longest of time right now, and the decision to demand clearance of cargo from Mombasa at the inland container depot, that is the ICD in Nairobi 2 years ago created a chance for politicians and senior government employees to make a killing from the ensuing congestion. And of course, as reported by the Daily Nation right here, 2 years after the controversial decision was made, investigations have been conducted or launched to establish how two companies linked are given a tender to construct peripheral cargo storage facilities on behalf of the Kenya Ports Authority. And clearly, as you can see, that is Gideon Moi right there. Of course, the Moi family being linked to it, detailed on page 6. This is in regards to matters corruption. Like I said, it's pretty much hard to discuss the newspapers nowadays and fail to touch on the question of corruption and matters politics. And ministry scraps teaching course, primary teacher education, that is P1, and early childhood development education, ECDE courses scrapped in education reforms. An interesting one right there. You can grab your copy and get to see. And also in the entertainment scene, this is my year of change and true prosperity. Everyone else is talking about that and how much so this is going to be their year of change. Here's how to survive January, a tough time also, which also comprises of the cartoon edition, or maybe which talks, of course, is also talked about on the cartoon edition on the Daily Nation. This is detailed on page 3. And let's get inside into the details of it. It looks like it's January. It's going to be a tough one for most of the people. And we keep asking ourselves, why is it that we do not prepare? Because many a times you're told, you know, if you prepare pretty much well, then January will not get you flat-footed. How to survive the harsh realities of January, just, you know, sort of a way where, or maybe ways brought aboard by experts who say that 2020 may prove to be as challenging as 2019 was. And they give tips on how to make it through the most depressing month of the year, which, of course, most of the people say has 40 days. Others say it has 60 days, depending on how you view it. It's important that you always prepare yourself, because every other time we know that January is coming. So yes, even as we get these tips, it's important that you also ensure that as a person, you have proper discipline, especially on how you spend during the festive season. Because yes, the festive season can really be something, especially when you want to spend so much. Yeah, I know we've spent, I know we've cooled all the cash that we probably had, and everyone is looking at their bank account and they're getting a little bit disappointed. And even if it's not disappointing enough, we know very well that it's tough in January, because a lot of things have to be put together so that at least you're able to face the year pretty well. So, well, somewhere mid there, you'll not be having anything. But here are tips to keep you going. So you can grab your copy, page 3 of the Daily Nation. Should be paid 3 years, and get to see what it is that you are supposed to do to ensure that you are well, of course, braced. And it's because it's a Friday and we're talking matters entertainment, we cannot go without mentioning this, where a Kenyan actress has featured in a U.S. Christmas film. The fact that she never earned anything when she was acting in various Nairobi theaters did not make her lose hope. This week, 26-year-old Grace Washuka Njoroge featured in a film produced in the U.S. titled A New Christmas Film. Congratulations. Most of the Kenyans are going out there and doing us proud. Of course, we cannot forget the likes of Lupita Nyong'o and numerous other Kenyans that are doing great, of course, in the film industry and different respective industry. We can not forget one Alela, who equally has done so much so in his respective field. So you can always, you know, like there's never worry to the fact that today is not very good or is not very bright. There's always a better tomorrow. So this is something that we should commend. And yes, detailed of it on this page 3. You can grab a copy and get to see what it is that she did different. And we're not trying to say that indeed our industry are as bad, but we can only hope that we are able to transform. Hence, the topic of today, where we take a look at the trends of 2019 on the entertainment industry and moving forward, what we're supposed to do to ensure that indeed our very own talent is also utilized at home. And crossing over to the next page, let's get to see what it has in store. It has to do with politics. Like I had said earlier on, President Uhuru Kenyatta's dalliance with opposition leader Raila Odinga has caused tension in Jubilee Party. Yes, for the longest of time, most of the Jubilee Party members have argued that Right Honorable Raila Odinga is the one who came on board to cause, you know, some level of destruction within the Jubilee Party, while they equally acknowledge that they are still intact and nothing is there, or nothing would come on board to ensure that they are not together. So Ruto, Raila, Mudavadi and Kalonzo among leaders seeking Uhuru's political help ahead of the elections. And it's barely days into 2020. President Uhuru Kenyatta is turning out to be the political bride every suitor wants. Of course, the Mount Kenya region always key towards ensuring that one gets to win the political seats in the country, especially the main seat, that is the presidential seat. And indeed, the battle for the Jubilee, politicians allied to President Uhuru Kenyatta and his deputy, of course, William Ruto, have late intensified their fight for control of Jubilee Party. The Tanga Tanga Kieleweke factions is what people have been talking about, the BBI, and of course the handshake are the key things that have been taking center stage in line with matters politics. And who is going to get that respect or that support of President Uhuru Kenyatta is a question of wait and see. And will he equally willingly or exit the stage, especially when most of the people have talked about him being a young fella and probably pretty much young to exit the stage, in what, of course, we also received as controversy. Skandara Member of Parliament equally was out there. Just a moment, let's get to see whether we have that story. Yes, I'm sure it must have been captured somewhere. It was an interesting story. She came out, sort of guns blazing and, just firing shots at President Uhuru Kenyatta, and calling upon Kenyans to take seriously the utterances of the likes of that is, of course, the likes of Beth Mugo. You cannot wish her away what she says. The likes of the former vice chair of Jubilee Party, Murathe. She equally said that we cannot wish away such words because these are people, and the likes of Atwoli, these are people who sort of are very close to the president or have been close to the president at some point in time. So when they say things, it's important that as a people of Kenya, we are able to take notion and caution of that. So, I mean, most of the people have argued it's important that he still stays in power, and that's the reason why we need to go for a referendum so that at least we can change the system of governance that would be able to suit the coming in of President Uhuru Kenyatta again. But equally, a majority of the people have argued that it's important, or it would be the most noble thing to do if President Uhuru Kenyatta exited the stage based on what the 2010 Constitution dictates. Of course, the likes of Mother Karua, who equally are very strong figures in regards to matters politics and also in regards to matters law. 2 firms won tenders but were not among 30 companies that applied contracts. Also on that story that I touched on earlier on. And of course, so much so, austerity plans flop as 3.5 billion blown to trashes, and of course that is 213 billion, or about 40 pieces of entire expenditure in the period used on surviving debt. That is on the question of travel, and as you can see, it's still on matters corruption. We can always see, I'll grab a copy just to get to see what exactly this one is all about. But then again, most of the people on the radar, as the DCI, the DPP would have said, that it's important we take a look in regards to ensuring that as the year comes in, we are able to deal with the question of corruption as what President Uhuru Kenyatta would have wished in terms of ensuring that he maintains that as a legacy. And education, still so much so on the line of matters. Education Ministry has stopped admission to pre-primary and primary teacher colleges, and a state scraps ECDE P1 in new reforms. And we can see that so much so is happening in regards to the education sector. Numerous reforms playing center stage. Of course, not forgetting the competence-based curriculum, which is actually the key or the driving, factor in regards to the changes that we witness in line with matters education today. And most of the students or the parents also, trickling most of the shops, the bookshops out there, supermarkets, trying to just shop around so that at least they ensure their students or their children are able to go to school and they get the best, of course, as early as now. It's January, and you certainly expect that most of the schools will be opening somewhere next week. Suspected Shabab kill 3 in bus attacks. This was pretty much unfortunate. And the incidents of raids on passenger vehicles and security agencies are not new on Lamu-Mombasa route. Of course, investigations being conducted into this. We'll be updating you on what is playing out in regards to the same on our subsequent programs. It's on the question of insecurity. We only hope that as we march to the next year or to this year, that so much so is going to happen in regards to ensuring that we tighten our security. And this is the story that I was looking for in regards to the utterances of Kandara Member of Parliament. I think I have taken you through that. That is Wahome. Of course, tough times in regards to matters politics, in regards to matters devolution also. And here she is not so clear, but yes, Kandara Member of Parliament hits out at Uhuru over Premier slot. Interesting times also on matters devolution on this other side. The governors are out here crying foul. Graft charges against governors have emerged greatest threat to them, and equally in what they say to devolution itself. Devolution's teething difficulties far from over with new challenges, and these challenges equally are challenges that have ensured have gotten us to that point whereby we for a moment are not sure whether indeed devolution was a good idea. In what many people argue that indeed devolution is good because then it's going to take services to the common mwananchi. In the event that we continue with the issue of graft, in the event that we do not have things streamlined at the level of the counties, we might not be able to realize the essence and the fruits of devolution. So we can only hope to see what will play out in regards to this. Yes, governors asking for immunity, governors asking for protection, and so much so that is after the case of Governor Waititu, Governor Lennon Kulal, and equally Governor Mike Sonko right here in Nairobi. A constitutional crisis, a clear indication that there are loopholes within the constitution. And of course, the conversation on ground is how we can get to seal such loopholes so that we are able to protect the newest baby, that is devolution. And equally, ensure that the common mwananchi gets the best out of it, which is something that was supposed to serve the common mwananchi at the level of the grassroots. Yes, and reduced debt appetite, Bishop tells Treasury, still on matters graft. Kenya owes about 6 trillion, and of course the debt ceiling is going all the way up, is set to shoot up to about 9 trillion. Most of the people have not really been impressed by this move and this trajectory, and calling upon the government to ensure that we are able to balance that. And I think that's also the clarion call, and hence the reason why the bishops have equally joined in to address this particular issue on the county on the counties, so much so equally happening at the level of the county. You can always grab your copy and get to know what exactly is happening in your respective counties. Yeah, it is the county edition. And yes, page 20, 21, and 22. Lorries pay 2,000 per trip to the county government and protest and mask the shame of road that builds Nairobi. And that, of course, is in Nairobi. And there are other stories on different counties. So yes, like I said, grab your copy, get to know what is playing out in your respective county. Family of lawyer Miguna mourns as father-in-law passes on. Yes, may his soul rest in eternal peace, even as a country waits to see what then it will be of the homecoming of Miguna on the 7th of January, whether it will have some political implications. Very well, he's been very vocal in regards to matters politics in the country. Also was very, very instrumental at that particular time of joining of the MRM, of formation of the MRM. And of course, that time of the swearing in of the people's president and the events that followed closely after, to a point whereby he had to be sent away from the country, and he's been in Canada. But then again, officially, the president equally said that he's free to come back home for as long as he's going to exercise his freedom of speech with some level of decorum. The cartoon edition, festive season, and the morning after in January. Yeah, it is. Yes, it's so much so tough for most of the people, or a majority of the people, in regards to how tough January is going to be. But like we have said, there are tips given for you right there, I think on page 3 of the Daily Edition. So you can grab your copy, get to see how you will swim through in regards to this. Yes, the taps have totally run dry, and all we can get are the coins. That is more like it on the newspapers. Let's now cross over to DJ Breck, who's on standby, so that he can get to entertain us. Like I said, it's a feel-good Friday. We're all about matters entertainment as we get to usher in the new year. And of course, as we set ourselves to ensure that starting next week, we go back to matters serious business. So DJ Breck on standby. You are on standby, right?
Yeah,
Mambo?
Awesome.
You good?
Kabisa.
All right, looking forward to great content, great music for that matter. I'm sure watu wanakusikiza sahi, and they're equally waiting to see whether you have so much so in store for them. But what's important also is that they equally, take part in ensuring that they request for that song that they would want you to play for them. Hashtag New Day KE, SMS short code 40920. The management has had that, yes. And right next to me, I think the beautiful lady should introduce herself. Tell us why she has the crown, and she's Miss Who and all that. I think it's only fair that we allow her to introduce herself. Sasa?
Yeah, poa sana.
Yes.
Good morning to all. My name is Joyce Wanjiro. I'm from Kibera, currently Miss Kibera, newly crowned, and I'm privileged to be here this morning.
That's amazing, right? We celebrate you, and of course, yes, it's a year. Usifikiri ukipewa hiyo crown kitu rahisi. You guys must tell her that, you know, being Miss Kibera is not a joke.
Oh,
Akona
yes.
2020 that is tough ahead of her.
Oh, yeah.
So at least she gets to prove, you know, sort of, yes, there was a reason as to why you were crowned Miss Kibera.
Yes.
Karibu sana.
Asante.
Benali.
Yes.
It's been a minute.
It's been a minute,
Good
an
to
hour.
see you. An hour,
A
yeah?
day.
I know, right?
Wow.
Karibu sana. Good to have you on board.
Yeah, thank
and on
you
that
so much.
very same side, yes,
Yeah.
they're the guest of the day. We'll be talking about the trends of the entertainment scene at 2019. Well, I don't know whether it's going to get off my tongue, but yes, I'd love to know whether the miss and the hits of 2019, of course, based on what they think, but not before they get to enjoy that moment. I feel Good Friday, so why not just start feeling it right from this very spot, and then we translate the energy, the good vibe of 2020 to the rest of the people who are watching us. So DJ Break, tupatie kawimbo hapo. So we are up to pass. So yes, thank you so much. And that's how we start the show. Well, of course, not start per se, but at that level of the conversation. And hits and misses, all these figures you see here are figures that have been in the entertainment industry for the longest of time with proper understanding in regards to matters entertainment. And when we're talking about the entertainment industry, tunajua it's vast. Like there's comedy in it, there's media, there's music, there's beauty. You know, of course, YouTube squeeze ni kama imeingia somewhere hapo entertainment. So there's so much so to entertainment. So we want to generalize and just take a look at the general overview of it, because then it's a clear indication that entertainment pays so much so, especially in this time and age in the country. So if it pays so much so, if it's there to create employment and ensure that, you know, people are able to make a livelihood, then it means we need to come up together, you know, just have that collective move towards ensuring that we take it to the next level. When we're talking about taking it to the next level, we're talking about bettering it. We had sessions last year, you know, with the very same, of course, guests that I have today in regards to different issues that were cropping up during that particular time, of course, in regards to matters entertainment. And we just want to go back and take a look at how we dealt with such issues and whether we made great strides, even as we face 2022, hoping that, of course, so much so will be, you know, streamlined in line with matters entertainment. We cannot forget the MCSK saga, the biggest of them all, that crowned it all. And not forgetting, you know, the way King Kaka alituwaindia up the year, you know, with that talk of a revolution. And most of the people have come together to talk about the revolution thing. We're not trying to say that we're prophesying doom or even trying to incite anybody. But then again, you know, if things have to change, such things should also be addressed. And, you know, there's no better way of addressing such, you know, than, of course, that line of comedy. So we'll start off with, as always, Alan.
Oh, yeah.
The hits and the misses.
The hits and the misses. Oh, well, we've had so many hits, we've had so many misses. But for a start, let me just say thanks a lot.
Right.
I mean, last year was a very long year, but we had a very good time. It's good to see you guys again. Saint P, Linda. Joyce, it's good to see you for the first time.
Yeah.
Benali, it's been a great run, 2019. So it's a blessing even to God, by the way. 2020, we are here, we are alive, we are healthy, we are doing good. And I remember, to kick off, last year, 2019, at the start of 2019, we had a similar conversation. It was revolving around the music industry.
Right.
And you remember there were controversies and guys were complaining, and that is when we had the hashtag PlayKE. That is when we had an influx of Afrobeats from Nigeria, West Africa. We had an influx of bongo flavor dominating the airwaves. And then guys started championing for DJs to play local music. Then after that, what did we have? We had Gengeton music dropping into the local music scene.
Yes.
And revolutionizing the music industry. And I can say that the beginning of 2019, it was a miss. Guys complaining every time that we don't have a unique sound that is dominating the airwaves, which is local. But then it was a big win, I can say, when Gengeton came into being and revolutionized the music industry in 2019. Well, Gengeton has been surrounded by a lot of controversy. Guys talking about obscenity, vulgar language, but we have to give credit where necessary. We've had a good trend with Gengeton 2019, and let's hope that sound will continue to be bigger like it was last year, 2019. Otherwise, it was a long year, bracing and hoping for the best this year, and we thank God that well, we've had so many talents coming up.
Cropping up.
Popping
True.
up. Yani 2019, we can say it was long, but good for
Right.
the industry.
Yes, it's an overview, kila mtu, and true to it. It's like when we round up with the question of gengeton cropping up. And, you know, in as much as many people have viewed it also as something that is sort of coming to distract the line in regards to, you know, bringing up a moral society, sincerely speaking, equally, it's been great in regards to us also playing our very own. Do you suppose that we are at that level where now officially we appreciate what is ours? You know, and when we're talking about that, it's not just about music. You know, there's been that clarion call, yeah, let's buy and build Kenya and all that. Have we gotten to that point where we love what is produced by the people of Kenya as it is?
I think we've always been.
Oh, really?
Kenya. Yes, we've always been. The only challenge was that we were not able to meet the demand. Because even the DJs were like, okay, we play Kenyan music. Ngapi?
I know.
You get. But now once the demand is there, we'll definitely kind of like carve into to that aspect. But also at the end of the day, I think this is also the right time for us now to start innovating. Yes, Gengeton is amazing, but there are other people who need kama kukula kideri so to lazima to change. So if maybe we can get 10 bensols, 10 viris, or 10 tenayas, or 10 richichais, like we just push the agenda of, you know what, we also have this type of music that also people can actually have access to.
Right.
So I think we've always, yani hakuna kitu wenye tunapenda kama sisi. Yani
there
was that thing.
Deep down,
yes,
by the
deep
way,
down.
there's always something,
yes,
it's true.
because also that's the philosophy that people had. Lakini unajua Wakenya wapendangi vitu zao, but honestly, 2019 has been that year whereby every philosophy was stunned.
All right.
Yes.
All right.
So.
And maybe we were not so good so much so in regards to matters marketing, because sometimes, Pia, you know, the way you market yourself out there, the way you market the kind of product that you're selling out there is equally very important. How many people are you reaching? Have you taken advantage of social media? We thank God for social media, which is also what we'll be discussing. And maybe I think we just need to loop you in regards to the same. The transformation, yeah, social media vile may come and all that. Do you suppose then, okay, what are the goods, the bads, and the ugly that you think are in line with the social media? And moving forward as we head to 2020, do you suppose that the youths or the people of Kenya are able to balance this to a point whereby it's going to be helpful at the end of the day?
Yeah, so basically I would say that social media has really greatly helped in terms of entertainment and also awareness. And for music, basically, and like people who are acting, this is a better platform which is also affordable, because like you don't have to use a lot of money in order for you to be heard or for your content to be seen. So I will say that social media has really come and given a platform where young people, if you feel like you have a talent, you don't have like to look for a producer or someone that will give you that platform. You can just, as in squeezy, when you have a phone, a smartphone, that is the, like, you can now bring out your content and get paid for it. So I will say that is an added advantage. But some people also are taking advantage of it, because like bullying also on social media has really greatly affected most of the young people and also the nation at large. So I would say, for me, social media has really brought out the best in people. Like you can stay at home and feel like, I can sing, and you start recording yourself, and the next thing you're selling yourself out there. So yeah, it has really brought out the best in people. And also it is a great platform where everybody, as in akona hiyo platform. It's not like it has a restriction that individuals should not come out and bring out, you know, their content. I would say going forward, yeah, as in the government also should put like some rules and regulations that should govern this, because also not everybody is participating in the correct way in terms of social media. There's bullying, sometimes you feel like body shaming through that social media, or maybe you've done something then, and when you're a celeb, it comes out when now there's nothing you can do about it. And it brings out the worst in you. So I would say social media iko na advantage zake na disadvantage zake, but the best of it all is that everybody has that platform. Yeah.
Yes, it's a balanced platform, which is a great thing. Before we delve deep into the life of social media, or maybe the line of social media, Benali, the last time we were here, we were talking so much so about the question of creativity. And now, of course, the emerging of Gengetone, and officially, we are not talking about the fact that we no longer play our own. I mean, if there's a time in history, like they've rightfully put it, like what, of course, Alan said, if there's a time ever that we have consumed our own in regards to music, then it should be 2019. It should be 2019. And it's not just music, but equally comedy. You know, at some point in time, we see our comedians are the ones who are taking center stage across. You know, they're in the media, they're in this line of corporate, they're what. And I mean, everyone is embracing and receiving them pretty much well. Do you suppose then that we've exhausted the level of creativity? Hence the reason why maybe some people sort of kind of feel like, yes, in as much as we are into Gengetone, we should loosen up, not really loosen up, we should at least tighten the noose a bit, probably what she says. We should have proper regulations so that at least we equally do not feel as though we are over creative to a point whereby we stray away from the values that are supposed to guide us.
I think the main challenge we have, it's not when you are just one person. When you're just one person, you're going to keep repeating the same thing. You're going to release the first song, and then the second song will sound like the other song, and the third one, and the fourth one, and like that. So when you see most songwriters, like in the US, or other artists in the US, very few, like Beyonce, for example, I've not yet seen where she wrote her own product. She's not the one who handles her branding. She's not the one who decides on the photo shoots. You know, there is a team. So if let's say if I'm a Gengetone artist, for example, mi nimeshindwa kurecord Gengetone, like it's trending, but I can't sit and say I can comfortably record something of kuna content ingine. There is that line you feel like this line, no, I can't. Yeah, it's okay. I can entertain. I can do that. But that line, when it crosses there, you feel like, acha to So, what I believe is that even for comedians, even for like comedians, like Trevor Noah, they don't write their own jokes. There are people who write this joke. So each and every time there is something fresh, something fresh. So like it's what are the desire for 2020? It's the artists who have made it this year. Get your own team. Have people who you are all working together.
But wait a minute. Hold it right there. I would have expected the likes of Alan and, St. P to interject in regards to that. Because every other person would want to have a team. I would want to have a manager me, line media and all that. But it proves to be pretty much expensive in my own understanding and pretty much hard. I mean, you'd wake up today, who wants to be part of your team and you're not giving them anything? And we know how hard it is for one to make it, like what we always call kuomoka, like you wake up today and, you've made it. Trevor Noah and the likes, Beyonce, they're loaded, we all know that. To a point whereby they can confidently pay a huge team to manage them, a huge team to create content for them, a huge team to write music for them. I mean, sincerely speaking, how possible is it?
Let me just say, like for example, let me give you one. Before Saint Ingie, Diamond Platinum.
Yes.
This guy started when he was singing Bagala, and it was really, the music was bad. But he has this guy called Salam SK.
Yes.
These guys have grown. They have grown
together. So sometimes we overlook the essence of having a team.
Yes, we are normally in Kenya. It's all about mindo kusema. You get. If I say this song is going, it is going.
Right.
But you see, when you have this year, let's say I brought Alan into my team. So this guy, I have respect for him. We are working towards that. Next year, I need a producer, someone who understands my sound. I bring St. P in my corner. The other, in the middle of the year, I know Linda will get me an interview. I bring you into my my team.
Right.
One step at a time. In a period of 10 years, when Diamond was doing his last show, like now, I'm celebrating my 10 years. Even the president called. Akamwambia, you know what? When ni mwanaume, you know, that discipline, that respect of the team doesn't need to instantly start with money. Money, bringing
everyone.
Exactly. Yes, you have to
But
start.
I don't agree
Yes.
with that. I don't agree with that, Benali.
Yes.
Okay.
I know you wanted to
Me,
interject.
I
Yes.
agree.
You agree?
Yeah.
But initially,
Yes.
It's all about the money factor.
Yes.
Because if you single out an artist like Diamond Platnumz, who's made it over the last like 2 decades,
Yes.
you'll get to know that, well, he started somewhere. He didn't have a team. But that's a rare case. It's always about the money factor. Once we talk about social media, we've had comedians, a very good example, 2019 who came up. We have people like Desagu, we have, yes, exactly. We have
President
Terence,
Kingston,
Victor Naman. All these guys are really, were really working hard behind the scenes. They can't afford a team. And well, if you ask yourself, why is that these guys who are trending, especially on YouTube, and yet they don't have a team? It all goes back to the money factor. So the money factor, you don't have to eliminate the money factor.
I'll say this though, Alan, about the money issue. There's this principle that I always have. You don't need money for you to do anything. You just need people who can actually believe in your vision. For me, at my capacity, I know when I wanted to kind of like expand in terms of now, Saint Pindio Uyo, ametengeza hizi songs, I was like, okay, now I think Jobia production, there are some other songs which I can't produce because of the other commitments that I had. Then I was like, yo, Benali, just come through, we do this. I didn't have money to pay him. Because some people right now, kuna wase wamemaliza shule ya marketing last year. And they have applied, they have missed. Why don't you go there? You're like, you know what? I will actually teach you and bring you. There are some people who their issue is not money. Like there's a time, a popular radio presenter was advising people, they're like, yo, if you are 23 and your money is like this, you should leave him. But you see, mimi jahazi nitaokoa because me 30K, it's not my problem right now. I stay at my mom's place. If I tell my dad and things like that.
Your line of thought. We're coming back to you. Let's pick this phone call first. Good morning, John. Wushe. Happy New Year.
Kwanza Linda, wacha niseme happy 2020.
Yes, asante. Happy 2020.
2020. Wacha niseme namna hivi Linda.
Ndio.
Mkurugenzi wetu Ibru TV. Watangazaji.
Ndio.
Waripota. Wasikilizaji.
Ndio.
Na wafanyikazi wote wa Ibru TV na watakia mwaka mpya, mwaka wa kukata na shoka, mwaka wa amani, mwaka wa upendo, mwaka wa uvumilivu na utekelezwaji wa masuala yale wanayotaka ipaswavyo.
Amen.
Kwa kusema happy 2020. Jambo la pili, nataka tena kuwashukuru sana hao wauzaji wa nguo za mitumba. Nataka kuwashukuru wale wauzaji kangumu.
Ndio.
Nataka kuwashukuru wauzaji mandazi, chapati na pincha. Hao watu wanafanya kazi nzuri sana wakati wa shamra na sherehe za Krismasi na mwaka mpya.
Kweli.
Haki Mungu Linda, wacha nikwambie.
Ndio.
Hapo nyuma tulikuwa tukishuhudia mama anaua hata bwana mgongi kwa nyumba kwa sababu kwa mzee labda hakununua nguo, mzee labda hakununua ungangano, mzee labda hakufanya maandalizi ya sherehe ya Christmas. Lakini hao watu wanakuja mpaka kwa mlango, wanakupatia kanzu, wanakupatia pinche kidogo hivi, wanakupatia nguo ya mtumba shilingi 50 30 hivi, unaona familia inakuwa mzuri. Na waombea Mungu awabariki waendelee na kazi hiyo. Thank you very much kwa kunisikiliza.
Thank you so much. Also, equally, some good entertainment that morning, but then facts on table, sincerely speaking. Benali could not hold himself, but yes, we're coming back to you, Saint. Thank you so much for calling in, John. Yes.
John, yeah, amazing. Hata nimesahau vile zilikuwa. Na kitu yenye nasikia ni watu wa kuuza mangumu. Tunataka kuwashukuru watu wa kuuza miwa kwa sababu unatoka kabla hujabrush meno. Alafu unakuja unapata miwa unarununu kwa miwa hivyo unapata fresh air.
But it's a good blessing for
Ngoja nimalize point moja. Sasa kile kitu nilikuwa so what I wanted to say was
right. You should do that, by the way. That is 2020. We'll hold you to that, yes.
There are people out there who their issue is not money, but their
Right.
issue is opportunity. There's an artist who said this. The issue that is there, the issue is not money. The issue is an opportunity, one, to grow, an issue to expand, issue to understand things. Because if let's say I bring someone in, like in 2 weeks, we will need to create a team.
Right.
But msetu anataka one experience. Nionyeshe place. Maybe issue yake ni kumit Avril. Yeah, Avril is my friend. Yo,
Right.
niaje? So when we start concentrating on, oh, I will need money, money will come later.
Okay.
Money will definitely come later, but there is nothing as amazing as having someone that has a vision that you can now create the opportunities to make that money. So I'm with Benali because that's the way. Mimi kuna vitu zingine siwezi fanya. My issue is planning. I can't plan anything. I'm a creative.
Right.
I can only become productive on my own field. So I need someone who will tell me, okay, say in touch with ujinga. So we have this vision board, and also I can't sell. So nataka mtu mwenye atanambia Saint, we can convert this brand into this. The only thing I'll need is 5%
of what you get.
Yes.
All
so it depends
right.
on pitching. What's your
So sometimes we also do not have the understanding of the background, of course, ways of agreement that can be there, because a majority of people will think it's right hand up, ukipata pesa nilipe kwanza kitufanye. In regards, of course, to understanding the agreements that could be there, I think it's equally very much important that we say we can go together without money, but then in the event that money comes, then at that particular time we'll have a conversation.
There's a problem there because many times what I've seen is, let's say I'm an artist, and then now Saint Peace good with marketing.
Yes.
Yeah. So we work together. For first year, he's working. He's always connecting. He's calling this person, calling that person, making sure I'm accessible to people. Then the moment now I make my first money, the second money, now I stop picking his phone calls.
Right.
I've seen it happens every single time. You build an artist, you pick them up, you take them from wherever umewachukua Kitale or wherever, you bring them to Nairobi, you start working with them. The moment they are there on TV, boom. Yes. Yeah. Mindo kusema. I don't need you. Why do I need you?
A majority of the things media imefanya.
Yeah, so sometimes that one can be a problem that many people are afraid of. Right. And now getting back to what Alan was saying, the money factor, there is always someone who creates the money for the comedians on social media. You know, if I'm a comedian, for me to access Dettol, there has to be someone in between, however numbers you get online. Exactly. That's why you can have someone with 100K followers and
they never have.
They never have. But then there is someone who knows, okay, Benali has 150K followers. Benali is a business. So every like Monday nimekutafutia hii advert umewapostia kwa story, we are getting our 30K. Mi naenda na 10K yangu, because I know you have the numbers. I know now because you have the numbers and I have the business.
Right.
I need the numbers for me also to make money. So as much as the numbers can exist, or you can build your own brand as, okay, let's say I have my followers and all that, there will always be that someone in between that
who's more or less like an agent that will, of course,
that's someone who there's a philosophy we have, someone who can convert one follower into 1 shilling.
Right. Okay, that's
amazing.
So
if you have 150 followers, you need someone that can convert 150 people to 150,000 every single day.
All right. So
or 10% of that.
Amazing. So we look at that in regards to the numbers and all that, but not before we loop her in, because equally the beauty industry is one industry that's these models will tell you they face so much so. I don't know whether she's gotten to that level where, yes, she has had to work with photographers, she's had to work, you know, agencies, modeling agencies and all that. So generally equally an entertainment industry, in as much as maybe it's also an industry that is bound to grow them in a different way. So do you suppose then that the space is as friendly as we rightfully put it, that unajua mtu ameona you have a nice body, you have beautiful, like you're beautiful, you know, you're capable, you can articulate issues and all that. Do you, sincerely speaking, there's always, do you like sort of suppose that always there's someone who'll be willing to hold your hand, especially for women? I'll tell you for free, it's not as easy as you may think, sincerely speaking. Someone will tell you, okay, kama hakuna do hakuna shida, tunaweza ongea hiyo story ingine. And you know, they tell you that right on your face, and there's nothing you can do. And sometimes you're compelled to do it, especially when you're looking at where you're coming from and the difficulties and all that. So do you think whatever it is that they are saying is as real as what is on the ground?
Yeah, I would say that, like, for me to be Miss Kibera, I was given a platform by Amani Kibera. So there we didn't pay for anything for us to get trained. Yeah. But as you are going through the training, like the trainer, Mr. Mswaki, could say, it is very expensive out here. Even to get these modeling classes, or for you to be the best person into modeling, you have to invest. You have to use a lot of money, or it is not even easy to get a platform for you to you know, to present yourself and bring out the best in terms of your body, in terms of your speeches, in terms of even your education, because all these things are checked into beauty. As in, it is not only beauty that is looked in modeling. You have to be, they have to check your background in terms of education, and also your confidence. And I would say that when I got this opportunity through Amani Kibera, I did my best, because I knew if I went out here, I would pay a lot of money for me to get these classes. Because, like, for us to reach the final destination, there was like classes, there was motivational speakers, there was many people that came through. And for you to come out here and get them, you have to pay. So I believe kwa ground vitu ni different, vitu hazifanani, and I would even advise the young ladies that you don't have to sell out yourself or give out your body for you to get these opportunities and platforms. Like he has said, sometimes it's not about the money. When you have the passion and the desire and the drive, the right people will come your way. Like for me, I didn't believe I could model, but somebody believed in me and they gave me this platform. I didn't pay for anything, but if I could have said, venita kuje ikuje, maybe I could have, as in, given out myself out there for the wrong reasons. And these people, when they come to you, they will take advantage of you and leave you. Kwa sababu every day when I encounter beautiful ladies, young and energetic ladies, so akikutumia leo, kesho atakudai. So the best thing I can say is that when you believe you've got it, just come out, believe in yourself, and the right people will come and give you the support that you need.
Amazing. I think we need to we take a break first, and then we come back and top up to that. It's unfortunate, by the way, that even in politics, one of the things that we expect to be very serious, it has turned out to be equally an entertainment world. And we're not trying to say it's being an entertainment thing.
It is actually. No, we are calling it as
it is. You know, like, kuna time nilikuwa na waheshimiwa hapa on set. Do you know, like, hapo on set, they would tell a woman, like, sincerely, tunajua vile nyi upata viti. You know, that broke my heart in a way.
Let's not run away from the reality. The money factor, by the way.
I know.
Vision, dreams, that is, I mean, I don't know.
Do you know how many of us have
this? It's
a
work culture, by the way. How many of us have this?
Exactly.
But the society is changing. Saint P, in a change.
I'm getting it. I'm getting it. Let's go to coffee after this short break. Yes. Yes, and social media indeed one would say is a good thing, a bad thing, and all that, a full mouth for that matter. Let's take a look at the bad side of it that was there in 2019. And moving forward, we'll look at how we dealt with such. You know, when she mentioned things to do with, you know, body shaming, fake lives on social media. Well, by the way, sometimes I say, what a fake it till you make it. I don't know whether, I sincerely speak, why do you even have to follow up to know whether I'm faking or not? It's my choice. It's perception, right?
Converts into money, then it's
the
fine.
better.
The better.
Cynthia, the better.
Yeah.
So you just give it a shot and see whether indeed it's going to convert into money like you rightfully put it. Their countries, you know, these superpowers, they're getting to that point whereby one may block people from viewing the likes, the number of comments that someone gets on their social media, especially if you're a key figure. Why? Because then it became a big deal to a point whereby somebody could post a photo na kama hajaona amepata hizo likes. They really get demoralized in life. Some of them were committing suicide. So they've gotten to that point whereby I don't know now how they're able to do business in that sense, because most of the people here in the country are making money out of that, are relying on that. So in the event that we get to that point where tunasema now this is a negative impact and maybe we should hide the likes of what these celebrities get, so at least we are able to balance the level of the society, so at least everyone feels like yes, it's a level ground and they're not compelled to do things that are not good. I mean, would it be a wise move? And in the event that it's done that way, then how do we again capitalize to ensure that the people who are making money out of this are still able to make money?
We are yet to get there. I think what you're talking about is regulating.
I don't have likes on Instagram.
On Instagram.
But
Zimekataa tu katakata.
Yani
Zinaangalia.
I was among
I was
among the
people who I can't see how many likes they have. But you see, yes, but you see the issue.
imekata kusonga.
Zimekataa. Like seriously, I just see 100 people and others. I don't know why they chose me. I don't know. Because I even researched, I find out that it's only in America, it's only in the West that they did that.
Yes.
But mimi naonanga 100 and others. Actually, one person and others liked, 1,000 liked. But you see, the issue is not it's like if a tree hides snakes, alafu watoto wanaumwa, you don't cut the tree. You now look into another, you find a solution based on what the problem is. The problem with social media, it's not Instagram ndo ina stress wase. It's mental health. So how can we deal with that? But also another thing, I'm able to see how many people liked, because there are insights.
Right.
You see, if you are a social media influencer, you know, if I need to tell a company that my post has been seen by this amount of people, there is the insights is there. You can actually send report, you can actually print and do that.
Right.
But for me, I think the biggest challenge is me and my expectations. You see, as a person, it's not actually about social media. Social media is a medium whereby it's like the way ushasikia hawa mapasi wenye Sunday wana preach Mungu 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 kina Benali Mungu Mungu Mungu, and then sasa dada, I feel the spirit telling me. So are we going to ban the word just because a pastor has used it
against the values?
Yes,
but Mimi, what I'd like Saint P to do, by the way, ni kuface reality. We have to face it. It's social media. I mean, it's a medium of communication, but at the end of the day, it's a medium that is spreading all these negative things that we are seeing in society.
Right.
Depression, mental
so
stuff.
Equally, yes.
And I remember last week when I was here on Friday, we talked about guys living fake lives on social media. It's a fallacy. I mean, it's a lie. It's a facade that guys are living. Well, Mimi, I go for the likes because I'm a social media influencer. I'm working with corporates, and whenever I'm given an activation, I have to keep on pushing. My KPI has to be very positive. So I go for the likes, engagement, the retweets, the likes. So personally, if I don't get that, inakuwa ni disaster. So on the negative side of it is utapata guys are using social media for the wrong reasons, right? Kwa sababu nimecheki Linda pale, Linda is all a new day, nini. There's that lifestyle wewe unataka kuishi, which is a lie. But economically speaking, 2019, I can say, was a very, very, very rough year, even for social media users, especially guys who are using social media for money reasons. Because utapata corporates didn't spend a lot. They cut spending on social media, on budgets. So, well, hatujafika hiyo point ya regulation. Like in the US, guys ambao wameamua kuregulate, they already made money kitambo. They already made money. So we are yet to get there.
We are yet to get there. And
Exactly.
sincerely, some of them open their pages. Okay, I don't know whether this is wrong or not. You want to come in? Let's just allow Benali, of course, weighing on this. When we're talking about the negative aspect of it, and people are vlogging, people are out here on YouTube, and everyone is saying, you know, subscribe to my channel and all that. But there's this factor where there's some people who are I don't know, are there. I don't know whether they're becoming news agencies or something, because now they're there to discuss the lives of other people. And I think we've seen a couple of celebrities coming out to complain, you know, like, sincerely speaking, why is it that you should wake up and study my life and now start talking about my life? Why don't you just set up a page that is going to be educative or do something else that is constructive for you, as opposed to firing shots at other people? Is that as negative, or, well, it's just they're creative and they should be forgiven for that?
I think negativity sells. That's the first thing.
Yes.
And then digging in people's lives. Unajua umbea.
Umbea ni tamu.
Umbea ni tamu
Ni tamu zaidi.
So, hiyo
ni ngumu sana.
Ni tamu kama ni ya mwingine, lakini kama ni
so you find the challenge with it, I personally, like, my life, my personal life is not anywhere on social media. And there is, when you feed people, like when you feed people content each and every time, it's, people are able to access things that you would not want them to see. So like you find you have gone out on a date, a celebrity, you've gone out on a date, your date wants to post, we are out. So instead of enjoying a good evening, you are feeding people that you are enjoying your evening. So when you keep feeding people, there will always be those people who will utilize those opportunities. So I think it's negative, yes, but if these people wanted to post positive things, who will care? Yeah, now let's plant trees. Guys, it's affecting. We have global warming, but now start doing your own blog. Now, hey guys, with me here is Benali on this. Now, kama kawa, those guys who've been following me now, next week tunapanda miti huko.
They will unsubscribe.
Yeah, hey, this guy is so boring. Yeah, so boring. No content, no content. But now, when I start saying, Saint P was seen with another lady in the dark place. Who is the lady? Yeah, he was staggering at night. So that the moment those kind of headlines are constantly catchy and people want to get to know lives za wengine, something that does not concern them. So me personally, I'd say, the issue of competition, people want to compete on social media, people want to, okay, I'm the best, I've made it in life. So when you keep telling people, I've made it, I'm okay, people are interested in, hey, huyu msichana survivor.
And they're making money out of it. Since YouTube the other day, you know, the Google factor, they were paying so money, like people are making money out of that. So if, in a way, it's going to create employment,
especially for those people. Because also, you've said they've turned, what social media has been able to do is create like media agencies.
Small agencies.
Small agencies. I will say this, it's their jurisdiction.
Well,
it's their right. Yes, it's their right. It's their right for them to report.
Jurisdiction. We have to get that right.
Yes, we have to get it right. Why you skip it?
Journalistic right to do that. If they are reporting something that one is factual, because we are in a world whereby information sells. But if you now take it to kind of like assassinate, like there's a time we realized that someone got raped by someone out of social media. You get, so it is good for us also to know this is kumbe this is what is happening. But now, because Linda na ananibo, let me create something that is not
Scandal.
factual about your story, and then I present it as fact out there so that it changes someone's idea about you, then that is wrong. I say this, the more, if taking part in assassinating someone's character based on lies, one day it shall come for you.
All right. Does it not get you scared when he says that? Because then, well, we were on break, she was like, you know what, yes, I presented myself like they were saying, just present, show up, wake up, Oga Subui, show up, money will follow. And she's like confident that indeed money is following.
Yes, money.
Don't you get scared at some point in time that, yes, when you get to this particular level, because by default, you'll find yourself on the limelight, money will follow. Are you not scared of the events where, you know, you'll be bashed and everyone is looking at you and, you know, they're thinking, they're selling propaganda and all that?
So maybe 2021, former Miss Kibira.
Amefanya hivi, scandal alionekana na mheshimiwa fulani hivi.
Okay, me, what I will say, if you believe and you know who you are, that is the best thing that can happen to you. The reason most people are being affected today is because sometimes you want validation. Mtu anataka uambiwe we ni mrembo, unataka uambiwe by the way umeachieve, but when you know who you are, you don't need validation from people. So if today you say nilipatikana na mtu, ama I did this, if that is not me, ni sawa. Ni sawa kwa sababu you cannot go everywhere trying to tell people I didn't do it. You cannot, instead of wasting that time trying to validate yourself, I believe you can grow yourself. One thing that is affecting most people because of this social media thing is mental illness. Because you're like, wase wamesema mimi si mzuri, ama wase wamesema nilipatikana nikido this and that. So if today I do something right, first of all, I have to be disciplined. Exactly. And discipline today will define my tomorrow. So every day as I live, I'm like, people are watching me. I have a daughter. She's also like my mom. She's my role model. So what is it that I'm doing today that will affect me tomorrow? You have to be very visionary, and you have to be like, you have to take up your consequences for whatever you do. So if I am doing the right thing today, hata kesho ikikuja, I'm not scared. I'm not scared that you will say I did this or that.
On that note, by the way, Linda, if you look closely at social media, especially Facebook, utapata everyone is an opinion leader.
Yes.
That's everyone is an opinion leader.
Yes.
Guys who studied communication know who are opinion leaders. They know it all in society. Utapata these days on social media, especially Facebook, everyone is a doctor, everyone is a historian, everyone is an engineer. And,
but they've failed to doctor themselves.
Yeah, exactly, to engineer themselves. There's this Italian philosopher, his name is Umberto, I can remember the other name, but his first name is Umberto. He was saying, these are not the days when the village opinion leader used to stroll in the local pub and was silenced with one bottle of beer. These are the days when everyone is an engineer on social media. These are the days when everyone is a doctor on social media, and you can't control them. So he was saying, it's an era of the invasion of the idiot. I mean, that is what he literally says.
I like that.
Exactly.
All right, but wait a minute. Let's just come to this also conversation on the what played out in the entertainment industry. And Malaysia and Kisema, activism through music, and we've witnessed that hugely. And it's not just through music, but technically social media. The other time there was a cartoon edition that I was going through on one of the newspapers, you know, sort of saying that talk of a revolution. When we're talking about revolution in Kenya, zetu ziko tu online. Facebook, nini, that is where the talk of a revolution is. And on other countries, what were out there in the streets, and this activism, and this fact that you cannot silence anyone today, you know, they have the capability to go out and speak. There are platforms to speak. If you're not going to call me on TV, I'll go on my Facebook page and still down here. I mean, are we embracing this in a positive way in as much as we're saying that, okay, labda hizo siku za village elder hata akisilentiwa na bottle moja, it was a good thing in comparison to the kind of society that we're living in today?
Mimi nitasema ni poa, lakini it is very sad that we have to wait for an artist to stand and speak for the people.
For the people.
As in, ni kama hivi wazazi mko hapo alafu mtoto akam aseme nyinyi mko na ujinga mingi sana, mbona kila siku mnapigana? It is too sad, because when you look at it from an attitude point of view, so ndio artist kama King Kaka, he did a really good job, and we were like, go King Kaka, awa mafala. It's 2020 now, everyone has forgotten. When is that time whereby we are going to tell the leader or the people in office, like, by the way, ukicheza by the way tutakuchapa,
I know.
si ati tutakuchapa.
Okay, nice.
Hata nikukate hapo. Uende hapo lakini hautafika home.
When utachapwa.
I'm just saying facts. You've seen on the news when you try to speak about
the machinery
power
will
in Kenya.
Silence you.
You leave this interview. I'm saying, you live here, and then you went. And then you went, and then you went, and then you went. So you went, and you are still waiting. So it's okay. I can say, like, right now, the way Alan was saying, the social media, we are keyboard warriors, you know, we are strong on social media. But now bring us together now, okay, can we create a change now? But you see, it's not possible because everyone is scared.
I am worried about the industry when you're saying it's not possible, as we get to wind up. The other time we were talking about MCSK and how we're supposed to streamline its regulatory bodies and all that. Have you followed up to find out if anything has been done?
In fact, I feel so cheated. Because next year, not even next year, this year, we'll still, 2020, we are still going to talk about the same thing. Because the last time we were here, actually when we were conversing, and then like, oh, we are talking about MCSK. Oh my gosh, they say they were going to put policies to what happened? So it's like we're in a world of PR, PR. We actually, there is a, like, that's where we are. So I don't think if,
the only people who are supposed to sanitize the industry, the gospel industry equally is in shambles. So moving forward, do we have hope? What hope are you selling for 20?
Hope. You know, hope, and hope is so painful, by the way. But there is no alternative. You only have to be hopeful because we've been having the same conversation year in, year out. Like St. P says, we are a society. We talked about this last year that tends to lean back. We are always in that cocoon. We'd rather use our keyboards. But instituting these frameworks and structures, it's all in mere talk. So Mimi, I'm hopeful. I'm hoping for the best this year, 2020. Lakini kumbuka ni wale tu.
In your capacity, you're coming in, you're joining in the industry. What do you think you're going to bring different? Because then again, you know, fresh blood, when it comes in, we always hope that they come with great ideas, creativity, and changes and all that. And we are worried that silence, you should not be that village leader. Eh? So what are you planning to bring on board that is going to change the industry? Because if by default to Koapa, it's because maybe you've studied the industry generally, you've had some level of interest, in as much as you said, you hauko unafikiria unaweza simama kwa runway ukitu kama hiyo. You're here then. Moving forward, do your research. What changes do you suppose should be implemented, and what can, of course, the fresh blood bring on board?
Personally, I would say that first of all, given this platform, I intend to change this more talk and less doing. So for me, I believe 2020 is a year of action, and looking for opportunities and platforms that will really give young people opportunity in Kibera and out of Kibera, because I believe when leaders come and they do their promises, it is like nitafanya, and that is it, like enticing and just going. So for me, I believe talking is not enough. You have to take action, and action starts where you are. Like you don't have to wait for so much resources or finances. I believe with the little that I have, I will do my best to my capacity to create platforms for young people. Kuna talent hapa inje. Kuna people that have visions but they don't have the people to guide them. So like give them opportunity to get counseling, mentorship, entrepreneurial skills, things that even they can't do much without. But when they have these small skills, they can be able to better themselves and become better. I also believe that the government should come through in realness, you know, come to the ground and know what is happening, and even give young people this platform. When Flash Blood comes, kuna hiyo moral, motisha, you know, but mkisema this leadership should still continue and the young people wako hapa chini, future leaders have to be made today. And they cannot be made today without being given that platform. So I believe when young people are given the platform, great things can happen. Na mimi kama Miss Kibera, that I have been given this platform, I believe by the grace of God, I will do my best to ensure that wale wenye tuko nao mtaani at least they get equal opportunities pale juu hata, na create platforms for them to showcase their talent and even become better people in the society.
All right, Benali, there's something interesting about Kibra of late. I don't know if it's me peke yangu
That's his
nimenotice.
land. Hey, tell us about Kibera.
Oh, that's your land. There's something interesting about Kibra, and the fact that, you know, these youths wamejitoa, like sincerely, like Kibra imejitoa. This year, okay, well, last year, 2019, nikikwambia how many people were Kibra nimehost, and you know the vision that they have, and how they have come out kusema we're going to showcase that Kibra is not what you think. And they have overlooked the fact that ati lazima watafute wadosi washikilie sijui ma MP wao na nini na nini. There's just something special about Kibra. I mean, do you think that that is where the transformation is going to start from?
I think
I'm impressed by the way when you say that. Like, sincerely, you know,
He's from Kibra.
I came from Kibera.
Wow.
Which place, by the way?
Nimetangatanga.
Bora tu ni hapo within.
Shiranga, Lindi, nimestay sana huko. But there is always one thing about the challenges of young people. It's the higher voice. You know, like if you don't host them, let's say if you didn't host them, they don't have a platform to showcase what they are doing. So what young people need are watu wa kuwa empower. I needed one chance, somebody gave me one, and I used one chance to be mpaka place niko saizi. You get? So transformation is going to be there. It's going to happen. It's going to start, yes. But all these young people, they need that higher voice, that someone to say, okay, what's your vision? I want to be a producer. Okay, what do you need? I need A, B, C, D. So if I get you A and B, can you be able to get C and D? Than just saying, okay, you guys are young people, okay, mshike hii 1500 kila mtu. That one does not help people. You need to know vision ya mtu iko wapi, and then empower that. And my prayer is 2020 this year, at least to a new young billionaires. You know, after Mark Zuckerberg, I don't know if they are new young billionaires. There are people who are in suits, you know, like, yeah, we are the billionaires of tomorrow.
So
but from there, are we having real?
They are going to be paid.
Yes.
Right, yes, that's interesting. Why I said Kibera is because these youths or people from Kibera seem to be ready, by the way. As in, unaona ile yenye mnajiprepare nyi wenyewe mnajuanga tu kuna mahali light itawaka. You know, so when you get them, hawashtuki is like, oh, we're actually waiting for this opportunity. As opposed to what we've seen, you know, most of the times opportunities will present themselves, but you're not ready for them. So then, of course, it's in a backfire on you. Otherwise,
that's a key thing.
Yeah, that's a key thing. So they seem to be very ready, trust me. And you watch them. You watch them. You know, in the next like 1-2 years, there's going to be a huge transformation. In Kibra, huge for that matter. Thank you so much. Alan Wakori, media personality, and of course Saint P, music producer. Yes, of course we have Joyce Wanjiru, model, and yes, the current Miss Kibra. Great having you. And yes, Benali, music producer. And lastly, DJ Break is on standby. Mnataka kudance tena ama mnataka tu Man, Break, it's only fair that we allow him to say something in regards to the entertainment industry. Of course, DJing, pia siku hizi imekuwa key. Wasee wanaingia into the DJing industry, and they're doing great. So what do you make of general, you know, sort of overview of 2019 entertainment industry and moving forward to 2020? Unafikiria kuna zile changes zenye zitakuwa worth transforming the industry?
Changes ziko kama kawaida. So ni msee kujituma venye unafaa, because challenge iko mingi sana. Ni kujituma zaidi, utafika penye wewe unataka kufika. Yes, there's so much more that we would have spoken about, but then again we just leave it at that, and we only cross fingers that EPR mingi itaisha. And we also take personal initiatives, like you say. I mean, we should not be waiting and waiting and waiting. If you want change, then you should be there to be the driving force in regards to that change. If only we would get that spoken word piece by King Kaka, but all the same, or ile Frasha, or ile Teardrops, or anyone else of Cynthia and all that. So we throw it to you, DJ, tupatie music.